What does it smell like?
Give me a chili sleaze dog, please.
It doesn't really smell like food.
Were you chewing on that mattress topper bolt?
That's a lot for one chip.
I just want to be in the zone.
Good morning on this lovely Sunday morning, where it's currently 83 degrees at 7:25 a.m. It's the first day of summer and it's Father's Day. And I'm starting my day off with a nice brisk walk. I remember my very first Father's Day, probably more than any of the others. So today is June 21st, 2026. My first Father's Day was June 21st, 1998. I had been a father for a whopping 1 day. I didn't even know it was Father's Day. I was tired, I was stressed out, I was trying to mentally juggle 100 things at once because my twins had just been born prematurely. So I'm in the hospital and my 9-year-old nephew, who's 37 now, he comes in with this like child-written homemade card that says Happy Father's Day on it. First of all, I didn't realize it was Father's Day until I saw that. And second of all, I didn't feel like I deserved it. I hadn't really done anything yet. I hadn't done much fathering yet, except for maybe 9 months earlier. I remember when I saw that card, I instantly got a big old lump in my throat. I just felt it kind of like brought out everything I'd been going through at that previous 24 hours when my kids were born. But 28 years later, I've definitely done my fathering duties over the years. And even though none of you are going to see this until after Father's Day, I hope all the dads out there had a great day. Yesterday, I spent time talking to both my kids because it was their birthday. Today, I'll talk to them again because it's Father's Day. So it's kind of, you know, when it was just me and the kids when they were younger, it was like Christmas in the middle of the year. It was great because I had Father's Day and their birthday always around the same time. But today I'm just gonna talk to them on the phone, which is good enough, better than nothing, right? And then after that, it's time for some taste tests. That's right. I've got 3 new spicy snack flavors plus a new soda flavor. I'm looking forward to trying all those out because they are all pretty new. From what I can tell, most people haven't even heard of some of these or seen them. So they just arrived in the stores. And then on my main channel, I have something coming, I think on Tuesday, which is even my next review, which is a Ninja product that just came out as well. In fact, it comes out Tuesday, I get it Tuesday. So this particular week, I'm ahead of the game for once. I won't stay there for long, but I'm there right now. Went to Wienerschnitzel yesterday, which I go to Wienerschnitzel about maybe 2-3 times a year. I can only eat a chili dog so often, but I've been eating chili cheese dogs at Wienerschnitzel since I first went there in 1982 with my future ex-brother-in-law, who went up the counter and said, "Give me a chili sleaze dog, please." But eating my Wienerschnitzel hot dog reminded me of the ongoing internet debate whether a hot dog on a bun is a sandwich or not. You know, I never really thought of a hot dog as a sandwich because the bun isn't completely split open. But if you split the bun completely open, does that still make it a sandwich? I don't know, it doesn't feel like a sandwich to me. I think technically it's a sandwich, but most people don't consider it a sandwich. I guess it depends on what your definition of is, to quote a past president. Let's not get into that now. Anyways, I gotta get home, get going to these taste tests because I got a lot to try out, and then later I'm going to have dinner with my mom who's in town, staying with my niece. Good day, busy day. Let's get started now.
Welcome back to the latest Freakin' 2 food review. On today's menu, we've got several new snack foods and drinks. No preliminaries here. Let's get right to the first item, which is going to be the new Mug Floats Vanilla Howler. This, I believe, is Mug's first attempt at a limited time flavor meant to taste like a vanilla root beer float. I have the regular and zero versions. This just hit the retailers only a week ago, so it's pretty new. So does it taste like a vanilla float, and is the zero or regular version better? Let's see. Starting with the regular version now. Take a look at the label. Not much really to discern there. It just says Mug Root Beer Floats Vanilla Howler naturally and artificially flavored. And I cannot read that whatsoever, but there is 260 calories in this bottle. I wonder who decided to put white text on yellow background. Smells like root beer. There is definitely some extra flavor in there besides just root beer. There is some vanilla in there, actually. It's quite balanced. I was worried that maybe it was going to be too sweet, which is not. I was worried it was going to maybe be too vanilla forward, which is not. I was worried it maybe wouldn't be vanilla enough, which is not. So I think they did a pretty good job on first taste. Let's crack open the zero here and see how that compares. Once again, not a lot of information on here, but at least I can read the label. Zero version next. Interesting, I think the vanilla might be actually more prominent in the zero version. Let me go back and forth here. The regular version is sweeter, And the zero version, the vanilla, stands out a little bit more. I've had the opposite effect with certain sodas, but this time I think that they did a great job with both these. Someone online said that it kind of tastes a little bit like the root beer at the bottom of a root beer float, and I agree. I would say this was a success in recreating the flavor of a root beer float, and to me, the zero might be a little better, although they're both pretty good. So we're off out of the gate with a good start here. I'm pretty happy with this one. I'm gonna leave these off to the side so I can wash down my next snacks that I'm gonna be tasting, including the next on the list, which would be the Ruffles Buffalo Wings. This, I believe, came out in limited in May of 2026 and wider availability in June of 26, so it just came out. I was trying to see if there's actually chicken in here, and way down the list there's chicken fat. So high-end stuff here. I guess chicken fat does count as real chicken, so you can say there's real chicken in here. Not vegetarian or vegan. I'm a big fan of buffalo wing flavor stuff, so let's see what I think. I don't really smell much buffalo, but that doesn't mean much. Sometimes the scent is a little misleading. Here we go. Well, that first chip, it's a mild buffalo flavor. Let me dig around for some different ones in here. That is the chip itself. I'm looking for ones with a lot of flavoring on it. Here we go. Little bit of heat and tangy. Nice buffalo flavor, and it kind of comes on at the end. You have to get one with a lot of flavoring on it. Like this one right here, that's like almost orange. I think it's a good amount of kick. I think that, you know, people that love a lot of heat may maybe think it's a little disappointing, but I think most people that like a little bit of heat will be happy with it. If you like buffalo sauce, you'll be happy with it. If you don't like buffalo sauce, there's no reason to buy it in the first place. It tastes a little bit like if you were to add some of that Frank's Red Hot Buffalo Wing sauce onto a regular Ruffle, you could probably kind of somewhat recreate this flavor. Or just buy this bag and you don't have to worry about having two different ingredients. The more I eat them, the more heat I get in my mouth and the more that buffalo flavor comes through. So I think I did a good job with this one. If you are a fan of buffalo wings and you're wondering if those are going to come through or not, I think most people will be happy with them. There might be some purists in the fringes that don't think that they're that great, but I think most people will find them to be quite nice. I guess the question is, do they taste more like buffalo wings or buffalo sauce on a potato chip? Maybe the latter, but I don't think that really matters. It's a good buffalo flavor, and I think they nailed it. Next up, let's try the Doritos Late Night Hot Honey Pizza. These just came out. Not much to report from the packaging, but the packaging does look pretty cool. There's like a neon pizza on here, and some honey and some heat. So I guess that does tell you what it's supposed to be. What I gather from this one is it's supposed to be a limited addition to the Doritos Late Night line, combining pizza-style tomato, garlic, onion, cheese, and honey seasoning with a sweet heat. That's a lot for one chip. Can they pull it off? Let's see. By the way, these began showing up in June of 2026. I just found them. It doesn't really smell like a chip. It doesn't really smell like food. What does it smell like? You know what it smells like? It smells like the fake pizza chips, like the combos of fake pizza. Nothing really to report on the appearance here, but let's see how it tastes. Sweet tomato powder. I get tomato powder in there. It kind of has that fake pizza flavor to it. I gotta wash it down. It kind of has that artificial pizza flavor that I never really found to be that accurate to begin with. But that's kind of what it tastes like, with some sweetness on top of it and heat. My mouth's actually getting hot in the back there. I don't know about garlic or onion or cheddar cheese. Pizza, sweetness, and heat. It's weird, I don't really get honey. I just get more, there's a kind of a generic sweetness, but I don't know if I would call that honey. I would say these are hotter than the buffalo wings. There's certainly a lot more heat on this one. But do I like it though? Do I like the flavor as much? I don't think I like the flavor as much as the Ruffles. Go back to the Ruffles here. Ruffles better. Sorry Doritos, nice try, but Ruffles are better. And while we're at it, we got one more to try, and it's also spicy. The Fritos Flavor Twists Spicy Dill Pickle. This is also supposed to be a limited time flavor. This one also began rolling out in June of 2026. Fritos brand flavor twist spicy dill pickle. They have the twists, they have the pickle. They have any spices? I guess they have, yeah, they have a pepper on there, which you can barely see. They say America celebrates 250th anniversary with a spicy, delicious crunch. Let's see. Oh man, I got pickle. I got a pickle scent there. You don't really see much, but let's see here. This one I'm curious about. Immediately get spicy pickle. More pickle than spice, but a little bit of spice, a lot of pickle. Kind of vinegary, and spicy. I love that crunch. It is crunchy. I would say it's a realistic pickle flavor. It doesn't have a fake pickle flavor to it. It tastes realistic. It almost reminds me a little bit of like some fried pickles I've had at some of the restaurants. Has a bit of a fried pickle vibe to it. That's good. It kind of grows on you. I'm gonna keep eating them. It would taste like a very crunchy fried dill pickle, which I think is a great combination. So all three of these are bringing the heat. I would say the Doritos is the hottest, but my least favorite flavor. I would say these two are competing for the top tier, which it's kind of hard for me to really pick. Let me try these back and forth here. All right, I think the spicy dill pickle is probably the strongest flavor. When you compare those side by side and you eat them back and forth, you don't even taste the Buffalo Wild Wing chip at all because the spicy dill pickle is so powerful. The flavor is so strong. So I guess in that respect, I might have to rate this one number 1, this one number 2. And my beloved Doritos, a distant third. Let's try all three of them together with a sip of the root beer as well. There we go. They're all going down at the same time. Here we go. Perhaps not surprisingly, the spicy dill pickle took over everything in texture, in heat, and in flavor, everything. Maybe some of the Doritos heat kind of latched onto this one, but this is most of what you get when you combine all them together. Fritos, you came out with a strong contender. I think they're all pretty good. This is my least favorite, unfortunately. And going back to the drinks, I think they nailed it. I would say this taste test was a success. And it's also over, so now back to the vlog. Guess what? Bolt discovered that he likes to chew on mattress toppers. This was on a bed earlier. Were you chewing on that mattress topper, Bolt? That's not a toy, Bolt. You don't chew on that. Does he feel guilty? Probably not. Just got back from a family dinner. There were 7 of us there. I brought the chips with me and I had everybody try them and everybody vote for their favorite, middle, and least favorite. 5 people voted for the Fritos as their favorite, 1 Ruffles, 1 Doritos. And interestingly, 5 people voted for the Doritos as their least favorite. So I kind of feel a little bit validated by my initial response to them. I brought the others home, but I left the Doritos there because I don't really want them. Oh, and the one person who voted for the Doritos, by the end of the night said, you know, the more I eat these, the less I like them. And that's kind of how I felt. They're okay, but they're not that great. I don't know. I would definitely wouldn't buy them again. But this day kind of got away from me, you know, as everything else does. There was more I wanted to say, and there was more I wanted to do. And there's never enough time. But you know what though? That's what tomorrow's for. Not that I'm vlogging tomorrow, but tomorrow is another day. Now today is the first day of summer, and when you're a kid, that sounds really exciting. Every summer I always kind of have these great plans of things I'm gonna do, and I don't always do them. Maybe this year will be the year I get some of them done. You know, I don't understand how it's possible, but on this walk, I've walked north, south, east, and west, and the wind is blowing in my face all 4 directions. How is that possible? Well, that's about it for this day. I had a pretty good Father's Day. I talked to both of my kids, I had family dinner. The list seemed longer than that, but 2 things is enough for me. Now, I have an older brother who's 5 years older than me, and we talk on the phone every couple months. We talked on the phone 2 nights ago for 2 hours, and I was thinking earlier, everything we talked about has to do with something old. We talked about old bands, old television shows, old times, and getting old. I'm not sure at what point those subjects became permeated in our conversations, but that's what we talk about these days. And I have my 40-year high school reunion later this year, and I have a feeling that, assuming I go to that, that's what most of the conversation is going to be about. Old times and getting old. Because as you start getting older, that seems to be the main topic that people want to talk about. And when you're young, you can't imagine being old. And when you start getting older, it's not like you think it's gonna be. But as the old saying goes, the only thing worse than getting old is the alternative. I've got 2 more years left in my 50s. I'm gonna try to make the best of those. Because the older you get, the less you can do. When you start getting older, you start thinking about things like that. Like, how many more years do I have before I can do the things I want to do? When you're young, that's too far off to even think about. You start getting in your 50s, you start thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. But know what else I'm thinking about? Ending this day and finishing editing this vlog so I can post it tomorrow. And that's probably about enough for this vlog. Once again, I hope all you dads out there had a great Father's Day. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.